sorry, this is really wrong, huh? You ready, Riley?
Did you ever try to always preface a hello to someone, a good morning to someone, before they said hello or good morning to you? Try it. See what happens. And if you greet every individual throughout the day, you save upon him with a fine countenance, with a warm face, with a smile, what would happen? You change many lives. And most importantly, your life would be very different. Your day would be tremendous. Why? What is it? With a simple smile, sometimes we could change the world. By a simple hello, good morning, top of the morning. What a beautiful day it is. Have a wonderful day. Welcome to Tanya Today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zuchen Gedeshim, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. We are in chapter 46. In this chapter, the Alter Rebbe is going to provide with us kavana, intent, lishma, for its own sake, for the sake of a true divine connection. That is the most simplest and easiest method. Difficult methods are deep contemplation about the greatness of God, God as creator, God in my life, my relationship with God. That's not simple. And even to arouse the hidden love of the divine soul in us, that's also not so easy. That God is my life. I am the child of God that is ready to do for him more than I value life. Not so simple. Yes, it's the reality of our soul. And even to find compassion, as we spoke in the previous chapter, chapter 45, compassion for the divine in me, and have pity on the divine in me, that it's in exile. It's locked up inside of me. And not only me, but in God, the source of my soul, the Shekhinah, the divine presence. And it's also in exile through things that I do. So even that is a deep engagement, a deep commitment to meditate and think about it. But then there is how we reflect back. As King Solomon said in Shir HaShirim, in the Song of Songs, Maim apanim al apanim, as water reflects a face, Kain leva Adam, Adam, so does a person reflect back that which they are greeted with from an individual, right? So when someone expresses a feeling that's inside of their heart of warmth, a smile, an engagement to their friend, so of course their friend is going to respond with a warm, engaging smile. Make sense? Right? It's natural. That's the way we Or now, maybe we're going through some difficulty and we'd have difficulty at that moment. Using this as a metaphor, and that would be, for the most part, how people would respond. So let's take today the metaphor. Today, the Alter Rebbe is going to give us the metaphor in its full form. And then the following days, we will unpack the metaphor for many days to come. And then what it means, a reciprocal love. A unique form of love, reciprocal. So the metaphor is as following. If people who are on the same status, equal status, like two friends that are of equal status, financially, socially, right? And that person smiles and engages you with warmth and lovingness and does you a favor. You reciprocate, right? How much more so would it be a great mighty king who rules over many lands, and displays a love, not to his children we're talking about, not even to his high ministers or lower level ministers, but shows a great intense love for a commoner. And not just a commoner, but who's lowly and despicable commoner who lives on a dunghill. Just picture for a moment the king going for a ride with his entourage, with his boys, crown prince, with the ministers, and he sees there someone living on a dunghill. And he goes, this king removes himself for the whole retinue that he's with, all of that glory that is with him, right? And he comes to the dunghill himself, exalts this individual, raises him up from the dunghill, takes him out from there, and doesn't just take him out of there, but brings him into his palace. And doesn't just take him into the palace, but brings him into the, and doesn't just give him a change of clothes and, all that stuff, but brings him into close companionship with an embrace of great showering of love. Wow. Just picture that for a moment. That was you, and the king did that for you. Even though you were on a dunghill for a long time, and you have a heart of stone because you've been living out in the streets, that heart of stone would melt because of the love that has been shown to you by the king. Not only would melt, but it would double and redouble and pay back with a show back, a love to the king. For me, this is what the king is doing for me. The lower you are, the more you would express love. Of course, if you were the crown prince, you wouldn't express the love the same way. Well, of course, it's my father. Or if you were a high-ranking minister, or even a low-ranking minister, you're a minister. King comes on to me. He needs me. He needs me. This commoner living on the dunghill, he doesn't need him. He wants him. That's the metaphor. Of course, you would show back gratitude. Of course, you would show back the love. Of course, you would give back anything and everything that you can. But you can see, I guess, pretty clearly what the analog is, what the metaphor is coming to bring out. I don't think it's too difficult, but we're going to unpack it into many details and to live with this in a very profound and meaningful way. That is everything we learn, a game changer. Any questions? Many are learning in honor and in the merit of hostages. Adopt a hostage. .net. You have an opportunity to do something for a hostage, their merit. Oh, all right, Patricia, God bless you. You say hello to Okoy in Lima, Peru. TJ is in Melbourne, Australia. Leia is in Florida. Ron in, I think, Pennsylvania. Rabab is in Tangier, Morocco. Clem in Brisbane, Australia. Liba in Davida in New York. Simcha in Florida. John in North Carolina. Cindy in Florida. June in Australia. Patricia in Ohio. Eugenia in Calgary. Joe in Olympia, Washington State. Julie in Somerset, Pennsylvania. Stan in London, England. Tim in Texas, who's going to be coming to join us in New York for the Shabbat in the Heights this weekend. Looking forward. Joe. Who else is with us? Diane in Arizona. Susanna in Miami. Elise in Georgia. Carmen in Texas. Diana in Pennsylvania. Alona is in Australia, I think. I'm just finishing. Instagrammers we have, Jersey Id. Boy, Rachel, I forgot your first name. Yan. Marcy, I think it is. GT. Others I can't make out exactly. JI. Yellow Bell. Okay, Yellow. Thank you. All right. Out of curiosity, we've been doing some things on YouTube and other places that wondering who is new that came recently from maybe seeing a short, the reel, and from there got inspired to come learn Tanya. Looking to see who is new, and you can reach out to me. And who's in Bali, Indonesia, who met my son and daughter-in-law a couple of weeks ago. And said that they watch Tanya. They watched the Tanya class and very inspired. Couldn't believe that it was my son that he was meeting, someone who was actually converting who had a ministry there, and I don't know, a fascinating story. You can reach out to me. That would be amazing. Perhaps you're here and I didn't recognize. The month of Elul, David asks, when the king is in the field, is that similar to the king coming to the peasant on the dunghill? No, because we have to go out to greet him. It's not the same metaphor. He's there and therefore more accessible, but you need to go to greet the king. As opposed to, here the king is coming to you, which of course we need to understand what that means. The recommendation or best thing to do to bless yourself and others. Do a mitzvah, of course. Karba Palana. Oh, I'm sure I got that wrong. But welcome. Elisa's in West Virginia is with us. There's a question that I missed out. Rachel? I don't see it. Sorry. Okay, folks, Rambam is coming up. We'll unpack this amazing metaphor and we'll live with it for the next several days. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you Chabad Zurich and Kadeshim, Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you, Tanya. Have an amazing, great day. Thank you for joining.